again, everyone. This is Marie Blue Angel. I hope you all are doing well. I am back today with the final Touchstarved demo video. And it is for Vere, who I'm curious about, but alas, I am picking his route last. But who knows? Maybe he'll surprise me. Let's jump into it. Whoever I pursue may be the last person I get to speak to tonight. I follow Vere. Where is Vere going? Of all the people I've met, only one left me with more questions than answers. Exactly. Vere knows more than he's letting on. I am certain of it. And if he's feeling as playful as he was earlier, I might be able to get information out of him. Okay, that's a strategy. Still, lingering doubt looms heavy over my decision. Can I really trust someone who lies so readily? Returning to the bar is slow work, with the heavy crowd vying for drinks. Ah yes, Vere was at the bar. When I find Vere, he's leaning against the counter, with his elbows propped on the edge and a wine glass raised to his lips. Not for the first time I catch myself staring, and judging by the looks I see thrown his way, I'm not the only one. Yet, there's a clear ring around Vere. No one else seems bold enough to cross. One ear perks at the sound of my approach, but Vere doesn't so much as look at my way, even when I slide onto the seat next to him. I didn't think you planned on sticking around. A free drink's a free drink, even if it tastes like rat piss. What a line. Oh, Vere. Didn't you say you wouldn't be caught dead slumming in this shithole? Vere takes a delicate sip from his glass, but his tail thrashes below the bar. You've caught me red-handed. I forgot what my voice was for Vere, but I feel like it was slightly higher pitched and nasally. I think that's what was happening before. He peers at me over the rim of his glass. In the low light, his eyes glitter jewel bright with amusement. However will you punish me? I figured my company's punishment enough for you. Vere's lips twitch, and he smiles despite himself. So, you survived the night. Are you here for praise, or will a head pat do? I feel a muscle in my jaw flex with the cruel twist to his smile. His arrogance has made a full recovery, meaning only one thing. Vere has sobered up. So much for my plan. About that, turns out you were right. I did run into trouble. Now I can't decide if you're an oracle, an actual threat, or just completely full of shit. Vere scoffs. Most women would buy me a drink before insulting me. After the way you jerked me around, if anyone's owed a drink, it's me. Vere falls so uncharacteristically quiet that for a moment I fear that I've actually crossed a line. Then he props his chin on his wrist. I don't think you understand how things work here. Information is a luxury, one you flung carelessly aside. I'm not following. If you value my words, you'd have taken them seriously. I gave you free advice, warned you of all the danger you were in, and still you went prancing off to the sea spring. Small wonder the soulless didn't tear you to ribbons. My first impulse is to argue, but what he said doesn't sit well with me. How does he know what happened to me? How'd you know I left? How'd you know I left Iridia? I have a very sensitive nose, remember? Right. How could I forget? Do you normally greet people by shoving your nose into their laps like an overeager Labrador? For a heartbeat, Vere's eyes grow wide and flat. Then he laughs under his breath.
Only the ones I like.
Vere trades his empty wine glass for a long-abandoned tumbler sweating beside him. Soft lumps of ice bob in the watery dregs of whiskey.
But the truth is, I despise most people.
His eyes flicker over my shoulder, and thin as Leander's boisterous laughter erupts from the other side of the bar. What about me, now that we've started off on the right foot? What does Vere think? I mean, I feel like all the other characters, it's not like I can get a really good read on them, but I really don't know about Vere. I'm very in the dark about his character and his motivations for everything we've seen so far. Oh, I love the outfit though. It's such a fun outfit. I like the gossamer sleeves. Very pretty. He turns, angling so he can look me over. His gaze is agonizingly slow as it glides over me. Finally, his lips quirk.
I haven't made up my mind about you yet.
It's a start. Or so I think until his eyes slide away and he turns back towards the bar. It's not Vere's attitude that bothers me. No, I expected that of him. It's the fact that I've got no idea how I'm supposed to hold a conversation, much less get answers, when he's being so testy, and his foul mood is infectious. Did I do something to piss you off? He lets out a short breath.
No.
Another lie. I'm close enough to catching the subtle bristle of his tail.
I'm just disappointed.
About what?
People like us can't help but attract danger, yet you seek it out. And for what? Cheap thrills?
I wasn't trying to get eaten by Solus. There's something I'm looking for.
And you think Min can help you? Leander? Are you really willing to risk your life with those dipshits?
What life? You've got no idea what I've gone through, or... Forget it. I start to rise, but... Vere touches my shoulder. It's more than a brush, but enough to give me pause. His eyes search mine, softer, somehow, than before.
They couldn't even begin to understand you, but I could. I could help you, if only you'd listen.
How do I know I can trust you?
You don't, but I'm slightly less inclined to waste your time with empty flattery or insults than those two.
Huh.
Is what you desire really worth risking your life for?
If you knew the kind of life I've lived, you wouldn't be asking. Vere considers the condensation sweating from his glass for a long moment before speaking again.
Will you trust me?
Sure. Why not? Let's just say yes. Yes. I nod and he rewards me with a small smile.
Good.
Don't know if I'm gonna regret that. I'm gonna, if I'm on Vere's route, then I'm just gonna have to trust him. Vere raises the tumbler to me, then snaps back the dregs. Once he's finished, he wipes his mouth on the back of his hand.
Let's talk outside. If I had to smell Leander's skunky aftershave for much longer,
I'll hurl. Sorry. I'll hurl. Sorry, I don't know why that's not funny to me. It's just so random. With that, he slips excuse me. With that, he slips away from the bar, leaving me to follow the path of his long trailing tail through the crowd. How long is Vere's tail? Ooh, I like this music. It's so cold outside, the breeze cuts clean through my bandages, freezing my fingers. But if the chill bothers Vere, he doesn't show it. He lopes purposefully down the street into an alley, this far from the Wick, and the bar's racket is little more than an indistinct hum. The streets as dead as the Amaryllis district was crowded. I wonder fleetingly how many unfortunate lives have been ended in this dingy alleyway.
You had questions. Ask.
Vere's breath missed in the dark. In the cold moonlight, his shadow stretches unnaturally long over the cobblestone street.
Quickly, I've got a show to attend. Heavenly Ludus, as I'm sure I've mentioned.
He looks down his nose at me, effortlessly imperious with one hand set on his hip, and for a breath I'm reminded of the stark want that gleamed in his eyes when he touched me. If he weren't so pretty, I'd walk away. But I need answers, and I can't think of a better way than starting with the people I met earlier. If Vere doesn't prove trustworthy, maybe one of them will. First, I ask about... was that about Karas first, and then negatives, and then positives? I wanted to ask you about... Oh, sorry. Wait, I forgot! He doesn't like him! Never mind, I started with the negative one. His reaction last time was nasty, but I can't back down now. Not with Vere eyeing me suspiciously.
About?
The doctor, Karas. I tense, ready for a blowback, but Vere only flicks his hand dismissively. Bit of a bore if you ask me, but
He's popular enough.
you know, on account of his massive heart. He winks, as though the stress he placed on heart wasn't already suggestive. Okay.
There's always a line wrapped around the block for his services. People can't seem to get enough of his special medicine.
Probably because he doesn't charge anything. Vere's tail gives an impatient twitch.
Or they're eager for little mouth-to-mouth with their pelvic examinations, if you get what I mean.
When I grimace, Vere grins wolfishly at me. There's clearly no point in asking him anything else about Karas. Ace. You like Ace, yes. I'm sorry, gonna be negative, positive, negative, negative. I'd like to know more about Ace. You two seem close.
He made an impression, Not surprising. He's strong, ruthless, easy on the eyes.
Gives it almost as well as he takes it, even if he's awfully greedy. Vague everywhere, really. Wow, look at that blushing.
Bit simple, but you know what they say about still waters.
I don't, but I'm too distracted by the change that's come over Vere to ask. A coy smile plays at his lips, as he winds a finger around the chain dangling from his collar. I thought you didn't like most people.
Ace isn't most people. He's better.
Our eyes meet, and Vere's tender expression curdles. He makes a tiny sound of distaste in the back of his throat.
He's more trouble than he's worth. Dangerous, too. Stay far away from him and those red-eyed freaks if you value your safety or your sanity.
Is that why you scolded me for going to the Sea Spring? I really don't think Ace is as bad as you're saying.
You don't know him.
Not like I do. The corner of his lip twitches. Ask about Min. I've got to admit, I was surprised to see that you and Min know each other. Are you friends?
Oh yes. We laugh and go shopping and have sleepovers where we braid each other's hair and kiss with a little tongue.
I'm beginning to wonder if Vere's ever had friends. Let me guess, you don't like them.
Can't stand them. The first time we met, they stabbed me.
Ah yes, I learned this information just on the last video.
Slid cold hard steel between my ribs, nearly nicked my heart. It was exquisite. The knife, I mean. Some sort of antique. Min's done nothing but disappoint me ever since.
So you're not close.
Can you imagine being friends with that crappy little killjoy? Impossible. Not unless they learn to lighten up. and I'm afraid not even a surgeon as practiced as Kuras could remove the stick wedged firmly up Min's per ass. Before I can ask my next question, Vere gives a frustrated growl. Don't you dare ask me about another soul. I haven't got all night for idle gossip. But I wasn't finished asking. You get 2 more questions. Make them count. So much for being helpful, but I suppose that's just how information works in this exhausting city. No more time for idle chatter. I'll get straight to the point. Leander told me that the Cenobium imprisons people. Did he mean you? Leander's a moaning fool with a throbbing victim complex. He loves to see himself as a savior, but the only difference between his cronies and the Cenobium stooges are the uniforms. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what surprises me more, the bluntness with which Vere spoke, or the venom lacing his ordinarily silken voice. You're asking who, when you should be asking why, says the asshole counting my questions. The look he throws me is infuriatingly self-satisfied. Fine, why were you imprisoned? For the same reason they'll disappear you, given the chance. I'm something special. Vere bows his head, gathering his hair in his hands and lifting it from his shoulders to bare the plain leather collar adorning his neck. See this collar? He cranes his neck, inviting me to lean closer. Looks unremarkable, doesn't it? Maybe to the untrained eye, but there's an enhancement just barely visible, like letters embossed on old parchment. Intricate spellwork has been inscribed in the collar. If I touched it, I might be able to figure out what kind of magic it holds. I don't have a choice. I reach forward to touch the buckle, but... Vere's hand lashes out. My bad. Long, slender fingers wrap around my wrist, exerting just enough pressure to hint at how easily he could snap my bones. Tch, don't you know better than to touch without asking? He tuts like a scolding teacher, but an impish smile grazes his lips. You didn't ask me first, so why should I? Our eyes meet, and he grins. Because I said so. That's not very fair. Fuck fairness. Life's not fair. His voice lowers to a pleased rumble. Patience, Chantel. I'll tell you when and how you can touch me. Behave or I'll make you bleed. He says it with a smile so sweet it hurts. Is that a threat? Or a promise? Vere doesn't answer me, but he lets go of my arm. I smooth down my bandages, more to get a grip than anything else. I can't lose my composure again. By now, I'd fully expect Vere to begin walking away, but the fact that he's still here suggests that he either forgot about his warning, or he was never counting my questions to begin with. Are you saying that what'll happen if the Cenobium finds out I'm different? I'll be collared? Doubtful. They keep me around because I'm the best at what I do. And what exactly do you do so well? Killing. He says it carelessly without hesitation. I was not expecting that. I don't know why. Everyone else here seems to do it. I mean, not everyone, but like... Definitely at least 2 of them. 2 of the love interests definitely kill. Min does. Ace does. Or, you know, do a lot more violent things. As long as I wear this collar, I'm made to hunt the Cenobium's dizzying array of enemies. Monsters, soulless, noisy dissidents who grow overbold. I'm bound by their will until the day I die. That's awful. Vere murmurs in agreement. It is, isn't it? And that's all you're getting from me. I really must leave now. I'll be late. That's it? Why'd you bring me here if you weren't going to explain anything? He has the nerve to laugh. Isn't that obvious? I wanted to lure you out here alone so I could eat you. You're lying again. And you are asking far too many questions for someone hiding so much. He sneers, and reflexively I shove my hands deep into my cloak.
What makes you think I'm hiding anything?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's the tough act or the way you tense up at the slightest provocation. More likely it's the bandages. Not exactly subtle,
I mean, that's true. We've not been subtle with our hands and the bandages.
I'll be going, unless you're willing to share some morsels with me. There's a biting edge to his playful tone.
I can't tell you anything.
Wrong. You can start with what you are. I take a step backward, but...
Oh. My back hits a wall as Vere follows me in lockstep. I turn only to find his left hand resting on the wall beside my head, caging me in. Vere reaches for me. His fingers curl around my chin and lift, forcing me to meet his lidded gaze.
Would you believe me if I said that the eyes are the windows to the soul?
My eyelid twitches.
Cliché, I know, but let me tell you a little secret.
Vere leans in until his lashes tickle my cheek, and the warm, faintly spiced scent of his hair drowns out the stench of greasy cook fires and chimney smoke.
There's nothing you can hide from me.
Oh, those eyes are scary. His voice is so low, so supple I could slip into it.
The misery born of your mistreatment haunts you. I understand what it's like to be used and thrown away. I'll give your life new meaning.
I swallow thickly. How could he possibly know? No, this must be some kind of trick. But for once, Vere isn't smiling. Maybe his premonition abilities?
All that suffering has made your soul so irresistible.
Or he reads souls? His piercing eyes pin me to the spot. The look on his face makes my blood run cold. I've seen it before. Traveling through the wastes, the lanterns would occasionally reveal carcasses picked clean by starving scavengers whose eyes shone in the dark with the same ravenous hunger. Vere takes a shuddering breath.
You're trembling. What if you and I went somewhere quieter, alone?
I'm gonna save. Resist? Part of me wants nothing more than to let him take me, to surrender completely to him. It would be so easy. But I'm not about to give up now. You're late. The ludist. Vere blinks. His voice comes out soft and breathy.
Shame.
He eases back, and for what feels like the first time since he cornered me, I breathe, but my relief is short-lived. Nimble fingers trail down my jaw before closing around my throat. The touch is feather-light and teasing, but my pulse still leaps. Vere's lips twitch into a smile, his white ringed pupils thinning with amusement.
You're fun, Chantal, even if you frequently forget your place. But if you ever call me a dog again, I'll break you. Understood?
Understood. When I narrow my eyes at him, he smiles wide enough to flash his sharp white fangs, as much as warning as a smirk. As soon as Vere releases me, I sink against the alley wall to catch my breath. He looks down on me, his expression distinctly smug.
Let's get one thing straight. I ate a monster 3 times your size for breakfast. 2, actually. The first tasted dreadful, like a fisherman's old ashtray, but that's beside the point. You and I may be alike, but don't forget what I am, or what I do best. He flashes me a dazzling smile.
Oh, I'm scared. Chantal? Anyone seen Chantal? Who's looking for me? Leander. Leander! Are you looking for me? Leander's voice echoes from the direction of the wick. I whip around. I nearly call back before remembering Vere's apparent distaste for Leander. I glance back at Vere. Have you left? Only he's gone. Vanished into the dark. I'm left in the deserted alley, trembling with a delirious mixture of exhaustion and excitement.
Fuck. I let out a long, shaky exhale that condenses in the freezing air. Only once my racing heartbeat slows do I make my way back towards the wick, guided by the distant sound of Leander's voice. Thanks, Leander. Made it back to the wet wick because you were looking for me. I appreciate that. Really do. We're gonna pick Vere. That was ominous. Vere, the chained charlatan. Vere serves as a warning of the dangers posed by the cenobium. As cunning as he is curious, Vere finds you fascinating and insists that he can help. But trusting him means entrusting your life to a collared beast with a lethal reputation. Can Vere protect you, or are his honeyed words a trap waiting to snap shut? Confirm, and this is the end of the demo for the last time. I know there was a choice I didn't make in there. I'm just gonna leave that for people to look at themselves if they would like. Check out the demo. Check out all the updates from Ren Spring Studio. I think it's very interesting. I don't know. I still definitely think at the end of this that after going through all the love interest routes, that Vere's at the bottom of the ranking for sure still. Min also is like, you know, fourth. I think what's really changed is whether Kuras, Leander, Ace, if their placements hold. And I'm not sure. I'll have to think about it some more. But let me know. This is the last video of Touchstarved that I'll do. But if you want to talk about it, let me know. How would you rank them all? Who would you want to follow first and start a route for? And all that, once the game is fully out. I'd love to chat about it. But yes, thank you so much for watching, and I will be back with more content in the near future. Have a good rest of your day. Bye!